they announced the Sony a7 III. Hey guys, Sidney Diongzon here. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more of a straight to the point kind of video, but I wanted to talk about a brand new camera that Sony just announced at this year's WPPI, and that's the Sony a7 III. The funny thing about this announcement is that Sony actually marketed it as a basic model mirrorless camera. There is nothing basic about the a7 III. There are a ton of features packed into the a7 III. I mean, you got dual SD card slots, you got 4K video, you've got S-Log 3, you got a photography camera that shoots 10 frames a second. I mean, this camera gives you way more value for $2,000 than what a similar price camera like a 6D Mark II can offer you, or even a 5D Mark IV, which is at a higher price point. Now, I can go on and on about the features of the Sony a7 III, but you already have people like Jason Vong, Danny, that one camera guy, Tony and Chelsea, Jason Lanier, that can speak way more into the technical aspects about the brand new camera. Rather, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different, and that is which Sony camera is for you. Now, first off, don't just think that the top of the line Sony camera is right for you. I mean, if you are a wedding photographer, then the Sony a9 probably isn't for you because that camera is geared towards more sports photographers because of the high frame rate. Or if you're a vlogger, then perhaps the Sony a7R III might be a bit overkill for the type of content that you produce for YouTube. So let's just get into it so you can decide which Sony camera is for you. If you are a vlogger or you're interested in becoming a vlogger, then I would highly recommend the Sony a6000, the a6300, or a6500. The reason why is because those cameras are really small and produce really high quality video. They're affordable, they're lightweight, they're easy to travel with, and you can get sweet lenses like the Sony 10-18 wide-angle lens or the Sigma 16mm lens if you want a more cinematic look because of the shallow depth of field. But what about the flip screen? Yes, I get it, having a flip screen can be very helpful, but honestly, as long as you can see the center of the lens, then the camera is going to see you and put you mostly in the center of the frame. If you really want a flip out screen to film your vlogs, then I'd probably go with the Sony RX1000 cameras because, like the Sony a6000 series, it's lightweight, easy to travel with, easy to vlog with, and Sarah Dici vlogs with it. If you're a portrait photographer or wedding photographer slash filmmaker, then I would actually look into getting the Sony a7 III. It's full frame, shoots 10 frames a second, it shoots 4K video, it has dual SD card slots, which is incredibly useful, especially if you're shooting a bunch of raw photos and 4K videos and you just fill up one SD card. The camera will then go into the second SD card slot so that you can continue filming or taking photos. You don't even have to be a portrait photographer or wedding filmmaker or photographer to get the a7 III. If you are interested in a full frame camera that shoots in 4K and also takes great photos, then perhaps the Sony a7 III is the camera for you. If you shoot more photos than you do video, then I would look into the Sony a9 or the Sony a7R III. Like I said before, the Sony a9 is geared towards more sports photographers because of the high frame rate, but the Sony a7R III is a megapixel beast. Now, I shoot more video than I do photos, but I really love filming with the Sony a7R III. The Colorscience is amazing, the dual SD card slots is really helpful, and I love the photos that this camera can produce. I mean, shooting at 42 megapixels is really helpful. I really like to shoot a lot of wide shots, but also I like to crop in on some photos. So cropping in on a 42 megapixel photo is really helpful because you don't really see any loss of quality. Also, the Sony a7R III doesn't overheat when you're filming in 4K. Not yet so far. Yes, both cameras are placed at a higher price point, but for what you can get in terms of high quality videos and photos, it makes it well worth the money. Plus, they're pro cameras, what do you expect? And lastly, if you shoot more video than you do photos, then I would look into getting the a7S II. The megapixels on that camera aren't very high. I mean, it's only 12 megapixels, so it's okay for photos, but the a7S II is really designed for filming in low light. And I know the a7S III is just around the corner, and rumor has it might film in 4K at 60 frames a second, which would be so... That's not the point. The point is that the a7S series is geared towards more videographers who happen to like taking photos. So if you're a videographer that also likes to take photos every now and then I would look into getting the a7S II or wait a little bit and get the a7S III. And that's pretty much it. Well, hopefully this little roundup of the Sony mirrorless cameras was helpful to you guys. I do hope it helps you decide which Sony camera to get, especially for those of you interested in getting into the Sony ecosystem. But if you do have any further questions about the cameras mentioned, or questions about filmmaking or camera gear in general, then let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!